Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. As usual, I want to thank you very much for tuning in and for being part of our great show. We don't take your support for granted. Ladies and gentlemen, President William Samoei Ruto and the First Lady Mama Rachel Ruto are expected in the US between 22nd and 24th of this month, May, for a state visit, having been invited by White House in what has been revealed will be an opportunity to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the US Kenya bilateral relationship. And they were saying that it is also an opportunity to share their shared prosperity. And I'm wondering what that means. Someone was asking me in the channel, what exactly does White House mean when they say shared prosperity? And one thing that we know about this is that we have been told that William Ruto will be given an opportunity to meet several stakeholders, several investors, and he will be given an opportunity to highlight what will benefit Kenya in that very opportunity. We also know that the Democrats in the US House had requested Speaker Johnson to invite William Ruto to address a joint Congress meeting. But the Speaker, who is a Republican, declined that request, and it elicited a lot of protest from some of the Democrats. But there are several people who are viewing this visit with a lot of suspicion, including those who are very close to William Ruto, including William Ruto's cabinet. There are people who feel that there is more than meet the eye. There's a lot that has been hidden. One of the people who reads a lot of mischief and feels that William Ruto should be very cautious about this visit is Moses Kuria. This is what happened. This is what Moses Kuria said, and it was not reported in very many stations. It was the Standard that captured that very moment. Kuria urges Ruto to steer clear of LGBTQ debate on US tour. And it goes on to say that Public Service and Delivery Management Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria has cautioned President Ruto against supporting homosexuality during this US state visit. Speaking during a funds drive for St. Paul's ACK College in Nandi County on Sunday, the CS welcomed the invitation of the president to the White House, where he will be hosted by President Joe Biden for a bilateral meeting. And then he adds very fast, and this is the gist of my analysis that I want us to look at. So Kuria was saying that Kenyans are concerned about the ties that will promote development between the two countries, and he was saying that William Ruto has been given the nod by all Kenyans. But he adds and says this: what we cannot agree with the US is the marriage between couples of the same sex. We are urging the president not to accept policies condoning homosexuality that may be advanced into Kenya. Such vices are not African and not accepted in our religions. That is Moses Kuria for you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I want us to look at, because remember, Moses Kuria is a cabinet secretary. Moses Kuria can meet William Ruto, but for him to come out in the public and urge William Ruto, it seems there's something that he wants to achieve, because in politics, things don't just happen. Moses Kuria did not just find himself talking about this. This is something that he has thought over. So as we delve into Moses Kuria's decision to address William Ruto publicly in a church, allow me to request you to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching for the first time, click the notification bell to allow YouTube to notify you. Help us share our videos, and on this one, give us many likes. To those who support our channel, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I want us to look at Moses Kuria and why Moses Kuria decided that instead of, because these are things that he can tell William Ruto when they are two, he can even pick, just take a call and tell William Ruto, way bwana, unapoenda pale, ensure that you don't suck up to the Western machination. But Moses Kuria did this, and this is what it means. Number one, Moses Kuria understands how William Ruto ascended to power. I have always opined on this channel that William Ruto was aided into victory by the USA, and that is why Meg Whitman, who is the ambassador to Kenya, US ambassador to Kenya, pitched camp at the Bomas of Kenya, where tallying and verification was taking place. I stand to be corrected, but in the history of our country since independence, I have never seen a diplomat pitching camp at a center where tallying and verification is taking place. That was a powerhouse. And that is why Chebukati was so brave. He could do whatever he wanted because Joe Biden power was there. That is the reason why Uhuru's deep state could not protect victory, could not block any kind of electoral irregularities. Meg Whitman was there. William Ruto was given this power by the US. And at the time when there was a lot of controversy, Meg Whitman told us that this was that since independence, this has been the freest election, the most verifiable. And Moses Kuria understands this, that Joe Biden, Meg Whitman, and the Western powers gave William Ruto this power. Because the dalliance between William Ruto and the Western machination did not begin today. It started before election. Now, for William Ruto to ascend to power, it came at a cost. There are things that he agreed he would do. For those who understand the international politics, you know how the superpowers are really struggling to control Africa. The struggle and scramble for Africa has never ended. They did it during the pre-independence. It continues with very many collaborators, those who collaborate with the superpowers. And what is going on is the political and social war between the communist and the capitalist. So the capitalists have chosen Kenya, and Kenya is their puppet. So Moses Kuria understands very well that before William Ruto ascended to power, there were several things that he was promised. And number two, Moses Kuria understands that because of that aid that William Ruto was given to ascend to power, we have become and remained a puppet of the West. You know that immediately William Ruto ascended to power, we have said this over and over again, he lifted the ban on GMO, genetically modified materials. That ban had been there for the 10 years that Uhuru was in power. Some people under the Association of Peasant Farmers went to court together with the Law Society of Kenya. But after dragging back and forth, the courts finally gave William Ruto the green light that Kenya can consume GMO. And you know that we are about to sell our corporation. I have mentioned this in every channel, that among the corporations that have been lined up for sale is the Seed Corporation, our Kenya Seed Corporation. There is even a bill in Parliament that sooner, as a farmer, you will not be able to start, just planting seeds and deciding that I am going to give my cows or my cattle certain products from your farm without registering with some manufacturers. You will be arrested. We want to ensure that GMO is part of animal feed and our feed. And apart from that, you know that the loans that we are getting from IMF are part of the deal. You know that LGBTQ was part of the deal. You remember when Jill Biden, the wife to Joe Biden, visited Kenya. And that is the time when there was this, there was a direct confrontation to William Ruto. Are you going to accept LGBTQ or not? And you understand that William Ruto has presented himself as a man of God. So he was not going to accept it publicly. But what did he do? He went through the back door, and Madame Koome, who has been a very integral part helping Ruto to achieve most of his agenda, to achieve most of the agenda and the dictates of the West. So the Supreme Court agreed and passed a verdict that the LGBTQ plus community has got freedom of association. With that, it was left to the some of the NGO and human rights group that are being given money by the US to promote and champion LGBTQ. So Moses Kuria, in his statement, understands very well that we have become a puppet of the West. We do whatever they want. They told us you must reduce, you must abandon the subsidies. We did. They told us we must increase taxes on fuel and the basic products. We have done that. Even in the finance bill 2024, there are other levies, including in bread. So we are doing that. They have been told, Kenya has been told that the wage bill is so big and we need to retrench more civil servants, and they will do that. So Moses Kuri understands that we are a puppet, and that is why he's questioning William Ruto that when you go there, apart from what we have been given, that you will be talking about development, you must stop accepting whatever comes from the US. Number three, this is a literary attack from Moses Kuria. When Moses Kuria was trades minister, and US sent a trade delegation in Kenya, they refused to meet Moses Kuria. And some people are saying it was because of Moses Kuria's uncontrolled tongue. Moses Kuria had bashed the media, and at some point he was even saying that the media should not be given government adverts. As a result of that, it was some people thought that US did not like the manner in which he was arrogantly dealing with the media, and they did not meet Moses Kuria. When William Ruto went for another forum, another summit in the US, and it was a trade forum, he left out Moses Kuria, instead carrying other delegations to go and negotiate, trade deals. And Moses Kuria, I know, did not like it because William Ruto had got no choice but to accept, because if US does not like you, you cannot be forced on them. So Moses Kuria got annoyed. He does not understand why US should be, playing holier than thou attitude, yet he understands what the US is. He's also gotten an opportunity and is telling them, you are dictating things that we don't like on us. He has gotten that opportunity. He's reacting because they had fallen out. He's fallen out with the US. Number four, Moses Kuria is emerging as one of the sober leaders in the UDA. He's one of the staff that can look at the king and tell him, King, you are naked. You see, it has been argued that there is no one in this government that can face William Ruto and tell him that this is wrong. Most of them are dancing to his tune, whatever he wants. This is why Gachagua is now regretting why he rallied support so that they could pass the Finance Bill 2023 when his people were crying. The avocado farmers are now crying foul. And the reason why most of the supporters from Mount Kenya are now rebelling, and the reason why they boo William Ruto and heckle him, is because they've just realized that their leaders cannot tell William Ruto that you are wrong here. They will accept everything that William Ruto, does. So Moses Kuria is emerging as one of the people who can look at William Ruto and tell him, we know you are going to the USA, and there's a likelihood that you want to accept LGBTQ, among other things, but we are cautioning you that we know what you're about to do. Moses Kuria has been a thorn in the flesh in the very government that he's serving. The other day he was telling Gachagua that you cannot hoodwink people, that you are an advocate of one man, one vote, 1 shilling, because you rejected it. We have got a deputy here, we have got 9 cabinet secretaries. Why can't we implement it? Why do we pretend? And he's a man who will tell you to your face. So he's emerging as one of the bravest leaders who can say it. Moses Kuria. And Moses Kuria is representing Kenyans, representing the church. There are several bishops who do not want William Ruto to accept LGBTQ, but Ngwinyi Mutahi labeled them M-Pesa bishops. They have benefited from brown envelopes, and so they cannot oppose what William Ruto is saying. And Moses Kuria is now standing in the gap. What the bishops cannot say, what leaders cannot say, what many Kenyans think should not happen, is what Moses Kuria is doing. And ladies and gentlemen, do you agree with Moses Kuria? Please share with me in the comment section.